Hey everyone, how is it going? It is your pal, Sal here. Welcome back to my channel, and most importantly, welcome back to our Cher discography journey. How is it going, everyone? Happy Wednesday. I couldn't be more thrilled to be back here with you guys. Today, we're tackling Cher's fourth studio album. It's amazing to me that we've covered so much, and yet we're technically only on our fourth album, but you know, we're here, we're doing it, I'm excited. So this album is called With Love, Cher, and obviously we still have the accent above the Cher going on right now, so just keep that in mind. So in a sense, this is also kind of another, it's amazing to me how many of her albums either have just Cher in it, or it's like With Love Cher, the sunny side of Cher, like the one that's later called Cherish, but you know, C-H-E-R, ha ha ha. So, so it's just funny to me. But this album was released in November of 1967, so it is the, what is it, the fourth? No, the third. No, yeah, the fourth album Cher partook in this year, because remember we had, what is it? What is that one called? The Sonny and Cher album that just came out before this, which I cannot remember. That all I Need Is You, right? No, what was it? No, what was the name of the album that Wow, I can't even remember. Wait, In Case You're in Love. Oh my god, that's it. That's In Case You're in Love. So then we had the Cher album, and also in between those two as well, there was the Good Times soundtrack that came out, which was also the film that Sonny and Cher partook in. So fun fact, like I said, I was going to end up watching Good Times, and I did! And I'm going to do a separate review on Good Times and what I thought of the soundtrack, but just so you know, didn't love the movie, didn't dislike it, but the soundtrack kind of has a few bops on it. So there's that. So like I said, this is the fourth project she partook in, and this album charted at number 47 on the Billboard 200 and spawned 4 singles, which included Behind the Door, which charted at number 97, Mama, Where Have My Dollies, When My Dollies Have Babies, which didn't chart. The third single was Hey Joe, which charted at 94, and the fourth single, which was the highest charting one, You Better Sit Down Kids, which charted at number 9. So when I'm looking at this track list, guys, I think this might be the Cher album that I'm going into where I know the least amount of songs, because the only one I know is You Better Sit Down Kids. Like, there, even some of these other ones that are either covers or whatnot, I don't know them. So this one's going to be a surprise for me, but here we are. We're going to check out Cher's fourth studio album, With Love, Cher. So without further ado, we're going to get started with track number 1, which is a song I do know, You Better Sit Down Kids. So here we go.
You better sit down, kids. I'll tell you why, kids. Your mother is staying, but I'm going away.
Here we go, speed up.
Say your prayers before you go to bed. Make sure you get yourself to school on time. I'll still be your dad. Just remember I love you.
Silent Cher.
And though I'm not here, just call if you need me.
Okay. Okay, that was You Better Sit Down Kids, and before I talk about my feelings on the song, I wanted to share you guys with how I learned this one, because this isn't really, well, I mean, I guess technically it is a Cher deep cut, because, you know, not a lot of people are seeking this out, but this song was included in the musical The Cher Show, which I have pictured right there, because it's iconic and I love it so much, and it was used, well, depending on if you saw it in Chicago or Broadway, it was sung either by, in Chicago, it was by her stepdad, John Southall or something, I forget his full name, and then in the musical, it's, or not, because they're both, in New York, when it went to Broadway, it was sung by her mom, basically when her stepdad left. So that's how I learned this song, and I remember I saw it, and he was like, you better sit down, kid. I'll tell you why, kid. So, like, in Chicago, it's told from his perspective, but versus the actual song where it's told from, like, the woman's, it's like weird. So anyways, that's how I learned this song, and I did like it, but it was never like one of my favorites. It still isn't. Listening to it right now, I was like, I don't really love this song now, do I? It was like they only really did like the first like verse in the musical, and I was like, that's all I needed. And that's kind of all I was wishing for here. Unfortunately, it's not available on the cast recording. It would have been nice to have more Emily Skinner on the cast recording, but whatever. So the song that when I heard the song for the first time, I was like, why is Cher talking from the dad's perspective? Like, that was weird. And then when they did it in the musical on Broadway, and it was like the mom reading the dad's letter, I was like, oh, I get it. Cher's not a man in this song. She's reading the, like, well, I guess, I don't know if this is how this one is supposed to be taken, but that's how I take it, because that's how I learned it. When I was listening to it now, because I did just learn that this is a Sonny Bono written piece, which I didn't know before, again, I think this song is fine. Like I said, I really just needed the first verse, and I'm okay. It's not my favorite thing. It's a sad song, because you're like, mom and dad are getting divorced, and as I always like to say, a child of divorce, but you know, considering my parents didn't divorce until I was, technically it was finalized when I was in college, but you know, still my youth was taken away from me, but it's fine, it's cool, it's chill, and so I don't love this song. It's not even that it's like lyrically like too much or anything like that, but I was really not loving the production, because like it gets all fast paced. You're like, oh my god, and then it like did some weird thing in the end. So I like it in terms of from the Cher show, but is it one of my favorites? No. Track number 2, But I Love You More. Oh, but I can't love you more. But I can't. Oh, sorry. Got it right. We're getting Ooh, I like that. More.
I don't know how to.
Oh no. Do.
Can't love you more.
Oh, Cher. Ah, yes. Hey. Come on, sell it, Cher. So, in an odd way, when this song began, I wasn't feeling it. And then halfway through, because like I had my notes pulled up, the one thing I saw is that Sonny wrote this song. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, wait a minute, this does not sound like something Bono would write. I don't know, something about it was much more, like this song sounded like it belonged in like a musical. I guess maybe that bounciness is kind of Sonny, so maybe I do see it, yeah. But if so, it's his most like Broadway-esque song that he's done. So I was here for that, and at first I was like, I wasn't feeling Cher's vocal, but then she was growing into it, and I was like, hey, Sherilyn, I see what you're doing there. The belt was really nice. This song is actually, you know, I guess lyrically it does, maybe, you know, it's like, I maybe, like, I like where Sonny's headed, because I mean, basically the song is like, I would love you more, and this is everything that I would do if I could love you more. Like, I'm gonna move the sun, the moon, and the stars, but I can't do that. Like, I literally can't do that. Like, what she's, like, I love you already the most, and there's nothing more, but if I could, you know, like, so I thought that was, like, kind of fun. I could have definitely, if, like, you know, basically, like, say the Cher show, the musicale had come out, like, you know, sometime, like, in 1970. Like, they just made her musical then. This could have been a contender for being, like, maybe a song about Sonny. I don't know if it would have fit, per se, but it has the theatricality already. So, I kind of did like it. Track number 3, Hey Joe, which was also the third single. So, here we go.
Hey Joe,
Hey
where
Joe.
you going with that gun in your hand?
Why has Joe got a gun?
Going down to shoot my old lady, 'cause you know I caught her messing around town.
Oh, is she talking about, is she Joe now?
I'm going down to shoot my old lady, 'cause was caught messing around with another man.
Okay.
I heard you shot your woman down, shot her down.
Cher's everybody in this song. Okay.
Hey, I said, hey, Joe, shot her down to the ground.
Poor Joe.
Well, think I'm going down south, way down to Mexico way.
He's getting out of town. Okay, so Hey Joe is kind of a scary song. So first of all, lyrically, it talks about someone talking to this guy named Joe, and he's like, I just killed my wife, and I'm going to Mexico. And she's like, hey Joe, I heard you killed your wife. So this song, I've never heard this one before, but it's a cover, and apparently, it's from the 60s, and it's a rock standard, according to the internet. I've not heard this one, but I see it. So this song lyrically was giving me Run Joey Run and The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia vibes. So I'm here for that. We always love we don't love a murder spree, but sometimes it makes a nice song, which is weird. It's kind of weird that I have to say that, but I mean, who isn't like, run, Joey, run? Or even like a Reba, well, I know it's Vicki Lawrence's song, but you know, Reba singing The Night's, So, Cher was clear, she must have liked this song, because she was like, I'm gonna sing this one to the high heavens. It's just crazy how she plays like she's Joe at one point, then she's not Joe. I don't know if she's Cher or Sherilyn or Cheryl, who it could be any of her aliases. So, yeah, that was an interesting piece, and I'm happy to have heard that one. It was kind of like amusing. You're like, oh my god, like, bang bang, hey bang bang, Joe shot her down. So, oh my god, I cannot believe I just made that pun. But so that was Hey Joe, and I did like it. Track number 4, which was the second single, Mama, When My Dollies Have Babies. So here we go. Okay, we're going a little softer right now.
Mama, when my dollies have babies,
This is just terrifying.
lady,
Ooh, okay.
I believed in King. Mama,
Oh.
when my dollies have babies and I'm a pretty lady. Mama, will a prince come and take me away? A very pretty bride. Mama, and now more years have passed. Left with just one thing. And I'm a big lady, Mama.
Whoa. Okay, this was... I had to pull up the lyrics for this. Like, this has been a minute since I, like, listened to the song, but I was like, I need to dissect this for a second. So one thing I want to address that I didn't realize when I did Cher's studio album, the one that's just called Cher, about 2 weeks ago, I believe from the date that this will air, is that there's a song on there called Magic in the Air, Something in the Air, and it's basically about how she's pregnant, like she's a pregnant teenager, and I wasn't picking that up the first time I listened to it, but thanks to the amazing podcast, the Turn Back Time podcast by the amazing Charlie Fern, I learned that it was about being pregnant, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't pick up on that. So this one, okay, first of all, so last week when we tackled, oh my god, In Case You're in Love, that's the one, if I was to say that that was Sunny's best vocal, I feel like the two songs we've gotten, or technically, what is it, 2 or 3? The 3, yeah, 3, right? Yeah, the 3 songs we've gotten from Sunny, I would argue that this is his most mature writing from a standpoint, because, whoa, first of all, this song, you like hear Cher go into her head, and it's like when she's a child, and she's like saying these things about, Mom, when my dollies have babies, will a prince come and take me away, and all these things. And so when you listen to the first, so it basically goes chorus, verse, And she said, when I said these things, I believed in kings, you know, meaning she was young. And her mom was like, baby, not so fast. Let your young life last. And then we flash forward to where she's a teen and she's saying the same thing. And her mom is crying and saying, soon enough, you'll be a very pretty bride. So I feel like she's pregnant, like as a teen again, like as if it's the same lady from, you know, the other song. But, and she's like, when my Dolly's like her youth gone because she's having the kid. And her mom's like, my baby is having a kid. Or maybe it's not, well, she says she's a teen. And I don't, listen, no one wants a teen pregnancy. So it's like, that's crazy. And she's like, when I sang this song, my whole world had gone wrong, and my careful dreams turned to crystal streams. My love didn't last, and more years have, this is, wow. And then now she's back, and now her child is saying, when my dollies have babies, and I'm a big lady. Whoa. This is like deep. This is like the deepest shit I feel like we've gotten from Cher at this stage of the game. It's like spooky and eerie, but you're like, whoa, okay, whoa, okay. So that was Mama, When My Dollies Have Babies, and interesting. I really did like it. Like, it's like creepy, but then like sad, but then like it starts. Whoa, it's everything you could. It's not funny, so it's not everything in one song, but okay. Cher's delivery, great. Sunny's writing, spot on, so not bad. Track number 5, Behind the Door, which was the lead single, and also the lowest charting one. Well, no, technically not, because Mama, When My Dollies Have Babies didn't even chart. So this is technically the third lowest charting, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So here we go.
Love and hate,
That's like kind of, this sound reminds me of something, but I don't know what it is.
an act of crime, a ritual dance, the characters are praying for a maiden.
What?
And to the one, the only one, remember when the prayers take off,
What is this? What? Okay. Are we done? Okay. Yeah, we're done. Alright, so that was Behind the Door, and in all honesty, that banana, that reminds me of something, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is. But other than that, that's the only thing that piqued my interest. What I was getting with Behind the Door is, like, it's talking, like, behind everybody's door and everybody's home in the world. We don't know what's truly going on. I think there was more to it, but something about the production was just, like, turning me off. I was like, what is that? But that banana, what does that remind me of? That's gonna haunt me, if anything. But yeah, Behind the Door was not my favorite piece I've heard. Track number 6 is called Sing for Your Supper, and this is a song that is written by two people that I know very well, Lorenz Hart and Richard Rodgers. As we know, Richard Rodgers would become a part of Rodgers and Hammerstein, but this is Rodgers and Hart. This is back when they were a thing together. And this comes from a musical that I'm not familiar with, but it is called The Boys. The Boys from Syracuse. Syracuse? You get the drift there. I've never heard of this one. So there's that. But we love it. Hey, so far this album has been rather theatrical. So let's hear Sing for Your Supper.
sing for your supper and you get breakfast. Chillin' makes a fellow willing. So little swallow, swallow now. Now is the time to sing for your supper and you get breakfast. One more time.
One more time.
I said a thing and you, baby.
Okay, that was Sing for Your Supper, and yes, this does sound like a musical theater song. Again, with my BFA in musical theater, I should be able to say that. But, you know, as a whole, this song, I thought it was an interesting choice from the album, because I would have, if, like, I didn't know that, you know, Rodgers and, oh my god, what, not Richard Rodgers, Oscar, no, yeah, it was Richard Rodgers, okay, I was right, Rodgers and Hart, this one would have maybe sounded, production-wise, the least musical theater to me. Lyrically, though, I was like, this sounds like something from a show, so I didn't love it. I was like, Sing for Your Supper, and I was kind of like, I get it. So not my favorite piece. Cher sounded like she was enjoying it. Not as much as some of the others, but her vocal was honest. But as a whole, it wasn't my favorite. But nothing wrong with it, per se. Track number 7, Look at Me.
Look at me, tell me what do you see? Does my soul lay broken inside? Look at me, tell me what do you see?
What do you see? I really feel like this sound is being made right now. That was Look at Me, and again, much like Sing for Your Supper, there's nothing inherently there that I didn't like. I thought it was fine, but it just didn't really do anything for me. Lyrically, I thought it was bland. Melodically, it was actually really pretty, like with the almost flute-sounding sounds going on. But a lot of it was that. Like there were like these two like interludes that were just like rather long. And considering the song is only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, it felt a little longer than that. Not too much longer, but a little longer. So Look at Me was okay. Like there's nothing special about it. So it's fine. Track number 8 is called There But For Fortune, which is a weird title, so. Okay.
Show me the prison, show me the jail,
Okay.
show me the prisoner whose life has gone stale. Show me the whiskey stains on the floor. Show me the country where the bombs had to fall. Show me the ruins of the buildings once so tall.
Okay. There But For Fortune was an interesting piece. At first when it was like talking about it lyrically, I was like, I don't understand what this means. So I had to look up what There But For Fortune means. So this is what I found on Quora. It says basically it usually refers to an undesirable fate which would befall someone except that they were fortunate or lucky enough to avoid it. So basically in the song, which again is a cover by Phil Ox. Ooks. Don't know him. But basically it's just saying like we could be in prison, we could be in jail, but we're fortunate enough to not be. So that's basically the gist of the song. So it's very thought-provoking, and Cher's delivery, I think she liked this one too, is very honest, and it's just like this could be us, but it's not. So I thought it was really interesting, like all these different things that they detail, like this could be any of us, like it could, but due to fortune, it's not. So there's that. So I liked this one. I really thought it was enjoyable, and again, very thought-provoking. Track number 9, I Will Wait For You.
If it takes forever, I will wait for you. Every day you remember our love. Summer
that was I Will Wait For You, and in all honesty, I did not like this one really at all. I didn't think Cher's vocal was the best on it. It just sounded, well, it sounded real and raw. It just wasn't really rather polished. I think she could have done it better, and it just sounded like a lot of noise. And then lyrically, she was like, I will wait for you, like, nothing will stop me, I'll wait for you, and I was like, oh my god, I get it. I feel like we just tackled this idea, or like, you know, like, love be damned, or like, you know, not love be damned, but like, love, nothing will stop me, better with, but I can't love you more. So, you know, it's fine. But this one was probably, I would argue it's probably my least favorite, out of the album. Track number 10, the final track, this is called The Times Are A-Changin', and of course, it is our obligatory Bob Dylan cover. I feel like I know so many Bob Dylan songs now just because of Cher, but this one I don't know, so this is The Times Are A-Changin', things are blowing in the wind, which, you know, that's also a reference to the Blowin' in the Wind song from, I forget which album that is. Was that The Sunny Side of Cher? But has anyone ever seen the original Hairspray movie where Divine's just sitting there eating a pie and she's like, oh, Wilbur, the times are changing, things are blowing in the wind. That's what this makes me think of. So here we go.
And admit that the waters around you have grown, and accepted that soon you'll be drenched to the bone.
Okay.
If you're cause a loser now, will be later to win, for the times they are a-changin'. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize things that you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. The line it is drawn, the curse it is.
Okay, so as I said, this is a Bob Dylan cover, and this is the first Bob Dylan song that I just have I feel like I've heard this before. Like, I truly do. I can't prove it, but I feel like I have. So this is another vastly popular song. It's on the 500 greatest songs of all time, on Rolling Stone's list. So, well, this one basically is just about like, hey, here's the thing. Every day, the times are changing, people are evolving, people are moving, and if you can't handle that, then you just got to get out of the way, because no matter what, you're not going to stop the times that are changing. So far, I would maybe, because I feel like I said this in the last one, I feel like this is my least favorite of the Bob Dylan songs, but I don't, you know, every time I say that, they always grow on me, so I'm not going to say that. I'm not. Is it probably my least favorite? Maybe, but I can't prove it again. But I like this one. I don't think it was Cher's, like, best vocal on the album, but I think lyrically, because it's so well done, it sticks out. And because according to this, there's like influenced by Irish and Scottish ballads in here, and I can hear that, and I was like, hey, who doesn't love an Irish Scottish ballad? So I did like it. I'm gonna, when I finish like going through, because apparently Cher has like a few more Bob Dylan covers to get through, I'm probably gonna make a playlist of the original Bob Dylan ones and listen to those too, and then I'll make a playlist called like Cher Sings the Bob Dylan Songbook or something, but I did like it. Okay, guys, we did it. We finished Cher's fourth studio album with Love, Cher. I still have not figured out how you properly say Cher with an accent. I mean, I guess it's probably the same, but I feel like because there's the accent, I have to be like Cher, not just Cher. You know what I mean? But hey, whatever. With Love, Cher, you get the drift there. And as a whole, I feel like this album is lyrically her most interesting. Like, with all the songs, like, especially You Better Sit Down, Kids, Hey Joe, Mama, Where Are My When My Dollies Have Babies, There But For Fortune, and The Times Are A-Changin'. Lyrically, we've gotten some of the smartest material on here. And production-wise, still some very nice instruments. I would argue that I still think the production on Cher and Sunny Side of Cher is still just as good. But lyrically, again, I would probably say this is her best. But unfortunately, lyrically, doesn't translate to best album. In terms of like all the four we've listened to, I would probably rank this my least favorite album-wise, because there's certain highs, but there are also some lows that I just feel this album doesn't overcome. Mainly the fact that out of 10 songs, I liked 4, 5, 6, So that's not bad. That's not horrifying. But I feel like these other four just aren't that, like, really are just, like, underwhelming. Like, I Will Wait For You, Look at Me, Sing For Your Supper, and Behind the Door. I don't know. They just weren't really doing a whole lot for me. And I feel like they just felt a little more bland. I feel like the other three albums have a better balance of, like, fun, drama, you know, everything. I feel like there's just a better balance of everything in there. Unfortunately, none of them rise up lyrically to these songs, but also lyrically, like, everything else, like, that's the only thing where this thing slightly rises above. So as a whole, I'm not in love with this album. It's the first album by Cher we've covered that only has 10 songs instead of 12, which is interesting. I think the two standouts of this album are, even though I don't love You Better Sit Down Kids, are that one and Mama I cannot say this one, Mama When My Dollies Have Babies. That's an interesting piece. Like, we know who wrote it. Sonny wrote it, so that's for Sonny. It's for you, son. So yeah, this one, you know, as a whole, again, you know, it's like with these older albums, you really have to take them with a grain of salt because, I mean, while it's like to say that they're not creative would be a lie, but it's very different when you have like a bunch of versus a lot of covers versus, you know what, you pick up what I'm putting down. So I don't know. With Love, Cher might take time. But, you know, as a whole, I'm glad I listened to it, and I'm really glad I discovered a few of the tunes in here. So what do you guys think, personally, of With Love, Cher? Let me know in the comments below. As always, do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha, Twitter at Sal Says Stuff, and TikTok at Sal Rocha1. I will see you guys next Wednesday when we tackle Backstage, an album that I own. Like, I have the vinyl, like, it's in my living room right now, and I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, I only know like the covers on that album, and I was like, because like I know I've heard Cher's covers, and I'm like, does that mean I've played this album? I don't know, but I'll see you guys next week for that. Have a great time. So hey, what pun are we gonna end with this one? You looked at me, the times are a-changin', and you're gonna have to wait for me to cover the next album next week. So there's that. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you later. Bye.